Maybe there was no eyewitness. Maybe there was an eyewitness. Brother.
You've been up all night, haven't you?
Yeah. And I gotta be in court in about an hour, and my closing statement, Lucy, is right there in that trash can.
Yeah, I see that. You know what? It'll be okay. You will come up with the right words to say.
Well, I wasn't even supposed to be in this mess. You know, I only agreed to handle the case temporary. I mean, she was supposed to get a replacement.
I know that. Julie knows she lucked out. She really did luck out.
And so I'm working hard, doing my job to try and prove that there's a reasonable doubt that she didn't commit the crime.
Right, which is not the same as proving she's innocent like she claims to be.
I know you think that she's innocent, but I'm telling you right now, I still have a lot of doubt.
Okay, that's fine. That's all right. I think what you're really saying here is you're just afraid that maybe you're going to set a murderer free.
Or send an innocent girl to jail, you know? I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe she is not guilty, and I'm not working hard enough to get her off because I don't believe it, you know? Or either way, maybe I am doing the wrong thing, and the bottom line is, hell, we're never gonna know.
So, have you eaten yet?
You know what? I'm not very hungry.
Okay, bad dreams, you're not eating. This is more than just the trial, Courtney.
The insurance adjuster called, and they made a decision about who's to blame for the accident that killed our baby.
So what did the insurance company decide?
That neither Karen or I were at fault.
You were hoping they would pin it on Karen.
Hey, I might argue with the experts, you know.
A woman who loves a good fight.
Well, I'm trying to take your advice and put it behind me.
A whole lot easier said than done. Courtney, when a child dies, it seems so pointless. But when it's your own, there is no making sense out of it.
I have all of this anger inside me. And all of this sadness. And I don't have anywhere to go with it, Frank.
Look, I know you want to blame somebody, but sometimes bad things just happen.
I keep seeing it. I keep seeing it over and over in my head. Karen's car is coming right at me, and I hit the brakes, and I skid.
Losing the baby hurts, okay? Sometimes so bad I can hardly stand it. But then I think about you surviving the accident, and I thank God for that. And so does Neil.
I'll never forget the way he held on to me when I got back from the hospital. Like I was his lifeline.
There is nothing you wouldn't do for him, and he knows it.
No. You see, Neil, he doesn't know anything. Neither do you.
Shouldn't Scott be here by now?
Julie, you did your part. You got up there and you told the truth.
Now all we need is for Scott to drive that home to the jury. It's one thing to get up there and lead me through my testimony. But to ask a jury to set me free, I really wonder if he can pull this off. I don't think Scott does anything halfway. So, what's your guess? The jury goes out today. How long do you think it'll take them before they find her guilty?
Well, that's far from a sure thing since Scott put her on the stand yesterday and made her look so damn good.
What are you gonna do if they find Julie innocent?
I felt I had an obligation to stand up for the victims in this case. I've done that.
And you have also done everything you could to make sure Julie got the help that she needed.
Well, I won't give up on that goal.
Scott and Lucy are reasonable... Excuse me. Scott is a reasonable person. Why can't he see what a danger Julie is?
I don't know. But then again, maybe it's not too late to try and persuade him.
Well, honey, we just wanted to be here to show you our support for you.
Want to watch my brilliant son in action.
Oh, listen to the king of closing statements.
Hey, you know, today, maybe he's gonna learn something from you.
I doubt it.
Oh, come on. You know, Julie's defense really took a nosedive after Cooper's whole testimony, and now, one day you turned it around.
closing arguments are going to be a piece of pie, a slice of cake, you know.
You have such faith in me, Lucy.
Always, because you help the people you promise to help. I'm a shining example of that.
Well, now, you see, when he promised Julie, that was a life and death matter.
And an obligation to balance justice with any sort of lingering doubts that you may have, Scott.
Well, yes, she claims that she's innocent. I'm still a little sketchy about that. You know, I have been right from the get-go
Okay,
here.
all right, I am not denying Julie did some terrible things.
What are you talking about? She tried to entomb you like King Tut, for crying out loud.
But I do not think she would have just left Eve and I to die.
Well, do you think she's incapable of killing someone?
Yeah, you know, Gail, I really am beginning to believe that.
Well, if Scott does as good a job as I think he will, I hope you're right. I'll, get some seats.
I'll go with you.
I need some advice.
You mean how to convince the jury that Julie is innocent when you can't convince yourself?
What are you, Kreskin?
No, just a dad. And your answer is this. Just argue the facts.
Yeah, the prosecution is very weak in that department.
Yeah, that's why they've been dealing in nothing but rumors and speculation. You just cut right through that smoke screen, and then the jury will be able to use their own common sense. And guilty or innocent, Julie's fate will be in their hands, not yours.
Yeah.
Come on.
How are you doing?
A million butterflies. You?
I'm ready.
All rise. This trial court of the state of New York is now in session. The Honorable Anita Martin presiding.
Please be seated. Ms. Jensen. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I thank you for your patience. You've had to endure a long and misleading tale of woe about Julie Devlin Ramsey being a victim here. Personally, I think it's an insult to your intelligence. The only victim here is John Kanellos. He was murdered. Julie Devlin Ramsey murdered him in cold blood. If Julie Devlin Ramsey isn't the victim here, then who is she? A dedicated physician who cares about the sanctity of life? Or a robot with no will of her own, brainwashed by Greg Cooper to carry out his plans of revenge? Well, even the defense will tell you that the answer is that she's both. Good doctor by day, slave to a psychopath at night. A psychopath who is locked away in prison, unable to threaten anyone, yet he snaps his fingers and Julie changes like Jekyll and Hyde and her dark side murders John Kanellos. A plausible scenario. One that the defendant even conceded was accurate in a signed confession. Then the story changes. Now the defense is claiming that Julie had a working conscience left, that it made her draw a line, and that even if Greg Cooper had given her an order, she wouldn't have murdered anyone. An implausible scenario. One a clever shrink, Rachel Locke, helped Julie concoct. Magically, she remembers, I didn't kill John Kanellos. Greg Cooper only made me think that I did. Is it possible that Dr. Locke uncovered some totally bogus memories like she did in another patient that she rehabilitated? Well, that patient was acquitted. Then she went home and murdered her own father. Well, at least Julie's new memories can explain the inexplicable. What was she doing at the scene of the murder? Well, evil Greg Cooper called her that night, gave her an order to stand next to the body, waiting to be arrested. Now, does that sound even remotely believable? Apparently not to Julie's husband, Chris Ramsey, or to her therapist, because they tried to bribe Greg Cooper into confessing that he was the murderer. Why? Because Julie Devlin Ramsey had run out of options. Somebody else had to take the blame for the crime that she committed. A crime that she fully confessed to doing. That she brutally murdered John Kanellos, impaling him on a sword, standing next to his body, watching his lifeblood drain away. Julie was her own eyewitness to this murder. And you know what? I believe her. That being the case, I am confident that you will find Julie Devlin Ramsey guilty of murder in the first degree.
Yes.
Thank you. I feel better already.
I guess it didn't help me bringing up how much Neil needs you. It just made you think more about the baby we lost and the chance we had to save Neil.
Well, maybe everything gets taken away because that's what I deserve.
Why would you say something like that? Why would you even think it?
Just forget it.
No, Courtney, don't shut me out here. Please, I want to help you.
What if it's my fault that our baby died in that accident?
The insurance company said no one was to blame.
Well, they weren't there, Frank. And they weren't inside my head when I was driving through that snowstorm. Just so determined to stop you from telling Joe he wasn't Neil's father.
That was my fault, not yours.
You weren't the one who was pregnant, carrying the baby who might save Neil's life. And you weren't the one who was driving too fast, just risking everything to keep some stupid secret. Why do you think I tried so hard to believe Karen was responsible? So I wouldn't remember how I looked down at that speedometer. And I knew I was going too fast and that I should slow down, but I didn't. I killed our baby, Frank. So do you want to help me now?
The prosecutor was certainly good. Do you think you can do better?
Mr. Baldwin?
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we are innocent, all of us, until proven guilty, not suspected of being guilty. That's not good enough. We need facts. We need proof here. And that's the problem here. Prosecution hasn't come close to proving beyond reasonable doubt that Julie Devlin Ramsey is guilty of killing anyone. Prosecution over here is playing on your emotions, because that's all she's got. Believe me, that's all she's got. She's got no proof that Julie is guilty. Well, nothing but a confession from a woman whose mind was being manipulated by a madman. You got to see Greg Cooper in action. You saw how he manipulated Julie's husband, Dr. Ramsey, and her psychiatrist. He said he'd get up on the stand, he'd say one thing, he gets up here and he says something completely different. That's how he manipulated Julie. Imagine what it's like to be held hostage, to be tortured, to be starved, to be threatened to have your face carved up to satisfy some sick fantasy of his. It's lucky that Julie survived it all. And a miracle that she's been able to recover her sanity. She's more than sane, and she's filled with remorse about having her spirit broken. None of us want to see the guilty go unpunished. By the same token, we don't want to see innocent people suffer. That's why I want to remind you, there are no facts to convict Julie. And there is plenty of room here for reasonable doubt. You know, I didn't want to take this case because I thought that she was guilty. Then something happened, and it changed my mind.
Objection. Counsel is testifying to his own experience.
You want to risk it, Mr. Baldwin?
Hear me out, Your Honor. If I'm off base, you can just strike it.
Proceed.
On New Year's Eve, my girlfriend and I were going to get married, but our daughter disappeared. She was found and returned to us by Julie. Now, Julie could have taken off and left Christina to freeze in the cold. Instead, she brought our baby back to us, knowing that she would be locked up again. I had to ask myself what sort of a woman would rescue a child that wasn't hers and help people like me who have shown no sympathy at all towards her when she had a chance to run. The best answer I could come up with: she's an innocent woman.
Don't.
Why not?
Because I don't want your pity, Frank. That's what you're feeling, isn't it? Sorry for me?
Courtney, you were upset the night of the accident. The weather was lousy. You don't know for sure that you were speeding.
No, it was more like I was trying not to remember. But then I had to go back to the crash site, and that's when everything came back to me. I was driving way too fast for the road conditions.
So the accident was your fault?
I killed her baby.
Look, you need to blame somebody? Blame me. Why were you out in that horrible weather in the first place? Because I did a number on you, threatening to tell Joe that I was Neil's father. I set the whole thing in motion. I should be asking for your forgiveness.
I don't want to blame you, Frank.
Then stop blaming yourself. We both feel guilty, but we can't give in to that because we have another kid who needs us. To be strong for him and to love him.
And to make sure he gets better.
And that is going to happen. But first, you and I have to help each other.
Now that I have given you your instructions, you may retire and begin your deliberations. Court will be in recess.
All rise.
I can't believe how convincing you were, Scott. There's no way they can ignore what you said.
Juries are funny.
Like lawyers? I mean, you're still not sure yourself that I'm innocent.
I'm a defense attorney. I did my best to defend you, okay? And let's just leave it at that.
Scott, you were amazing.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, now we wait for the verdict. That's the toughest part.
You took a big risk there using your personal experience, you know, there, counselor.
Yeah, well, maybe I did. Maybe I did. Do you think they bought it?
I don't know, but what I do know is you didn't try and gloss anything over. You just were simple and you told the truth, and I just hope they believe you. I think they did.
Hell, I almost believed you.
Yep, me too. I started to wonder if you were talking about the same Julie Devlin that I know.
My job here today was to prove reasonable doubt, and that's what I tried to do.
And if Julie is released and she cracks up again and Cooper uses her again?
I'll have nothing to regret. I did what any good lawyer was supposed to do. What's any good psychiatrist supposed to do in the same situation?
Pray that she gets the help that she needs. She's not fully recovered, Scott, no matter what you spout off to a jury.
Where did it come from? The strength Scott found to believe in me?
Maybe he finally realized he was defending an innocent woman.
Oh, it was your testimony, after all, that turned this trial around.
And where did you find your strength?
Christina, in the dream I have of being with her. And you will be, Julie, very soon. Very soon.
Martino to room 671. Dr. Alicia Martino to room 671.
Hey, Frank, What are you doing here? You already donated, didn't you?
Yeah, Courtney got called in to a job and said she might be a little late to Neil's chemo, so I thought I'd come by, hang out with him. You around?
Went to the coffee shop with Mom to get something to drink.
You know, I still say you cheated in our little game of indoor hoops the other day, so I'm ready for a rematch whenever you are.
Oh. Frank, I did that for Neil.
I mean, it was fun, though, like old times.
You and I are a long way from old times.
My mistake.
Look, Frank, Neil loves you. And you and Courtney have a good thing going. And that's good for him. We're even. Oh, well, we're not killing each other.
Then what's the problem?
Same thing as it's always been. You tried to destroy my relationship with Karen, and until you can admit that, things can never be the way they were with us, Frank.
Well, there's my favorite stepson.
Well, my one and only stepmom. At least I hope so. Neil, what's up?
Chemo and the stupid runny nose.
Wow, double drag.
Yeah.
Listen, why don't you get yourself a drink, huh? And I'll wait here with Kevin and see if they have something with vitamin C in it.
Yes, Grandma.
Okay.
His condition any better?
Worse every day. Joe spends all his off hours working either in research or running the blood drive. It's awful. And Courtney's just a wreck.
Sorry to hear that.
Out of oranges, can you believe?
No,
Well, the
can't
nerve
believe
of
that.
them.
Yeah, but they sent a guy down to the second floor kitchen to get some.
Good.
It'll take a few minutes.
Mary Collins, 6th floor nurses station.
Oh, dear.
Mary Collins, please report to the 6th floor nurses station.
I have to answer that.
Well, duty calls. Go ahead. I'll hang out with Neil.
Oh, that'd be great. Just bring him back to the blood drive area. That's where Joe is, okay?
I'm headed that way myself.
Great. See you later.
All right, Mr. Mann, have a seat.
Are you waiting around here for Eve?
Actually, no. I'm here to donate blood to the bone marrow drive.
Cool. Maybe you'll be a match for me.
Hey, that would be cool. I'll keep my fingers crossed.
You know, if they don't find a match, I could die. You want some of what I'm drinking? It's way better for you than that coffee.
Well, if you say so, it must be true. I'll even go one better than that. I'm buying. I want change back from that.
Has Lucy called yet?
No, Serena. I guess that fire at Aunt Charlene's must be quite a mess.
Are the animals okay?
Yeah, I'm sure Lucy's taking care of the animals. She's probably got them all checked into some suite at the Ritz.
I just can't wait to see them again. I miss them.
Well, they should be back very, very soon. Now, have you finished reading Harry Potter yet?
I'm about halfway done.
Well, by the time you finish it, they should be back. And we also got to get you ready for school. Let me get the phone. Hello?
Scott, it's Julie. What's happening?
Well, we're just waiting for the verdict.
Well, should it take this long?
Well, it's only been a day, Julie.
Well, promise that you'll call me as soon as you hear something.
Yeah, I will. As soon as I know anything, all right? Now, I gotta go. I'll catch you later. Okay. Bye.
Was that Julie Devlin?
Yeah, why?
How can you work for the person who killed Neil's dad?
I'll tell you, I've had some power drinks in my day, but that is by far the best power drink I ever had in my whole life.
Yeah, my dad turned me on to these. And the chemo usually makes me kind of sick to my stomach. If I drink one of these, it usually helps. Jury, dollar braids in Canelo's murder. What's dollar braids mean?
Deliberates. That's what a jury does when all the evidence is in. They go into a room and they talk about everything that they've seen and they've heard, and they try to decide whether or not the person on trial is guilty.
So if they say she's innocent, does that mean she didn't do it?
Not necessarily. We may never know if Julie actually committed the crime or not.
Sort of lousy, if you ask me.
You got that right. Have you been following the trial?
Nah. It's boring. Besides, I don't want to upset my dad with a bunch of lame questions about my other dad.
I don't think he'd mind if you asked.
Yeah, my parents have been going through a lot, you know. My mom got in a car crash and lost the baby she was carrying.
Yeah, I heard about that. I'm sorry.
We'd better go. Can't be late for chemo.
Joe, I thought we were done playing old records. Frank, how can you stand in this room where we're fighting to save a kid we both love and refuse to do something that might be vital to his recovery, huh?
How can admitting that I broke up you and Karen help Neil?
We would be stronger for Neil if we were a team through all of this. I mean, is keeping this lie really so important to you?
It's not the lie I can't let go of.
Well, then what? What is it? What did Karen and I ever do to you?
You wouldn't get it.
No. Frank, I'm here, okay? I'm here, and I'm listening.
I watched you grow up, Joe. I watched you ace medical school, become a hell of a doctor, make Mom so happy she could hardly stand it.
I couldn't have done any of those things without you, and you know that.
I helped you because of what I got in return. The way you looked up to me, like you were as proud of me as I was of you.
I was.
Then how come, when I needed you most, you bailed on me? When I was nailed for using drugs, I needed you to back me.
You wanted me to lie. Say I wrote a prescription for triazolam, which I didn't.
I wanted you to believe in me. Trust me when I told you I didn't take those drugs.
Frank, you tested positive.
My word was always good enough for you, Joe. And it should have been then.
You're right, it should have been, but it wasn't. I doubted you, and I'm sorry. But that does not justify what you did to Karen and me. Nothing could.
I was angry.
You spied on us, Frank. My God, when I think of what you saw...
Joe, I'm not the same person that I was then. I've changed.
Okay, Courtney has been good for you.
Look, I don't expect us to be the way we were. Just at least maybe get to the point where we can shoot a game of hoops without making such a big deal.
Well, getting all this out in the open, I mean, is a step in the right direction.
I know John Canellis wasn't really Neil's dad. But Neil was sad when he died.
I know. I remember.
Why do you have to be Julie's lawyer?
Come over here for a second. Sit down, all right? I want to tell you something. You see, Julie had another lawyer, but she fired him.
So you offered to take his place?
Yes, I did.
Because you think Julie didn't kill John?
Well, because I was the only one in the courtroom that could represent her, so I did.
You're really nice, Dad.
Well, listen, do you remember when Julie found Christina out in the snow after she crawled away, you know, and she saved Christina, so I wanted to pay her back for that.
She says she didn't kill John. Is Julie telling the truth?
Well, I don't know whether she is or she isn't. The point is that she deserves someone to stand up and to fight for her.
If you say that she's innocent and you think she might have done it, isn't that called lying?
All I'm supposed to do is just put the facts out there. That's up for the jury to decide that.
But you're the best lawyer in the whole wide world.
Thank you.
Which means you'll probably win.
Possible.
What if she did do it? She'll be loose. What if she hurt someone else?
Come here. You know, you're asking the questions here, and I've asked these same questions to myself. It's just that I don't have all the answers, Serena. It's, everybody deserves a chance to tell their side of the story. I am just giving Julie the chance to get up there and tell her side of the story and hope for the best, you know? I get it.
Okay. You get it.
Get ready. Yellow. Yeah. What? That's the worst part of the testimony. The jury wants to hear that back? Kidding. Yeah, I know. All right, well, just keep me posted. I'll talk to you later. Bye. You okay with this?
Not so sure I understand. but thanks for trying to explain it to me.
Somebody would explain it to me.
Japheth to psychiatry.
Hey, how's business going?
Couldn't be better.
You're in a cheery mood.
Yes, I am. My contact at the National Institute of Health called.
About the clinical trial they're running in Los Angeles for the new drug therapy?
Neil matches all the requirements. He can start in the program right away.
Joe, finally some encouraging news.
Yeah, I can't wait to tell Neil. Oh, do you want to hear another shocker?
2 in one day?
Well, this is different. This is about you and me. Frank confessed to everything, Karen.
What do you mean?
Oh, about being behind breaking up, you and me, spying on us, everything. He owned up to all of it.
I can't believe that. Wonder why he would tell you now.
I don't know. Who knows? Got a conscience? Something. Anyway, it feels like a ton of anger just left my body.
Yeah, anger could really tear people apart.
Hey, listen, I came down pretty hard on you about the accident. I'm sorry. That wasn't fair.
The insurance report came back. No fault decision. Turns out the accident was just that, an accident.
What? Why didn't you tell me sooner?
I guess I didn't think it would change what's been going on with us.
I guess Frank isn't the only one who needs to put his anger in check, huh?
Hey, gotcha! Oh, where you been? I've been looking all over for you.
I was in the coffee shop with Kevin.
Well, I was just in there. I didn't see you.
Well, we had to make a detour through the gift shop so Neil could show off all his favorite action figures.
Oh, wow. You let him in on the superhero club, huh? Congrats, Kevin. Kid must like you.
So what are you doing here, Uncle Frank?
I came to hang out with you while you get your chemo. And I brought you some new videos. You want to pop some in and get a sneak preview?
Can we wait till the treatment? I want to help Dad out with the blood drive until my chemo.
Sure. Why don't you go on inside, Neil? I'll see you in there.
Okay. And remember, keep your fingers crossed about being a match for me.
Dr. Bing Stive, TER. Dr. Bing Stive, TER.
Looks like you two really hit it off. You know, Kevin, he's really been keeping a tight lid on things lately.
Well, he's dealing with a lot for someone his age.
It can't be healthy for him to keep it all bottled up on the inside. Look, you think it would help Neil to talk to a professional?
Yeah, I do.
Well, I know that you and I haven't exactly...
No, we haven't, and we probably won't, but... What do you need?
Would you help Neil?
Obviously, you care about him. It's just that putting Neil into therapy is a decision only his parents can make. Sorry.
The jury wants Cooper's testimony and Garcia's read back.
They're going for a conviction. Why else would they ask for those transcripts?
Let's not jump to conclusions.
What happens if they find me guilty?
You appeal.
And how long does that take?
Up to 8 years.
8 years. Waiting to see if I'm going to be set free, spend a lifetime in prison, or worse.
Now, Julie, don't try and get inside the minds of the jurors because it'll just make you nutty.
Well, some people think I already am. What if they didn't believe me when I took the stand? Not sure my own attorney did, so how can I expect them to?
I got some questions.
Ask them.
I am bound by lawyer-client confidentiality, so whatever you say stays here.
What do you want to know?
Did you kill John Canellos?
Trial's over, Scott. Why are you asking me this now?
Because I'll sleep better knowing I didn't put a killer back out on the streets.
Then sweet dreams. You defended an innocent person. All right, your turn. What are you thinking right now?
I'm thinking somebody that would save a baby, 2 prison guards, when they could run. That's not a guilty person to me.
If I'm released, a lot of people are going to close their doors in my face. I hope you won't be one of them.
I won't walk the other way when I see you coming.
Maybe we'll even wave.
I'll let you know when the testimony's read back to the jury.
Say hello to Lucy for me.
Well, she and Christina left town, but I'll pass it along.
Where did they go?
Well, there was a fire up at Aunt Charlene's. Nothing serious. Check with you later.
Damn it, Lucy. Taking my baby away again? I need to get out of here. Chris.
Oh, Doc, just tell me when it's over. Oh. Looks like we got ourselves a yellow-bellied coward here, son.
Don't be scared, partner. Just do what I do.
What is it you do?
Well, whenever I get my blood taken, I just think about my favorite comic book.
Let me guess. Superman.
No way. Fantastic Four, issue number 85. The one where Captain Fantastic has to use his special powers to keep Dr. Doom from taking over the world.
Oh, that sounds like a good one. Okay, free to go, sir.
What, that's it? I didn't even know it was over.
Fantastic Four works every time. Well, Mom's probably at the nurse's station right now, so better go.
I'll catch up at the end of you, okay?
Okay. See you, Kevin.
I'll see you, Neil.
Dr. Brian Rosner to vascular
He's a great kid, Joe.
Brian Rosner
You don't have to tell me. You got a minute?
I guess so, yeah, sure.
I've been, a little concerned about Neil. He's acting a little distant lately. You know, we got a lot going on around the house and everything.
Concerned that he might be stuffing his feelings?
Yeah.
Frank mentioned it to me earlier.
You spoke to Frank about this?
Well, all I told him was that any decision about Neil had to be made by his parents.
Well, would you be interested in seeing him? I mean, he's obviously comfortable with you.
Sorry, this is strange. It's just that since Julie, I haven't taken on any patients at all. I was beginning to consider myself retired.
Oh, come on. You're too good at what you do for that.
You know, I admit I miss it. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'd love to work with him.
Thanks, Kevin. You're a good man.
You know, kids are smart, Joe. They sense difficulties in their parents, and they tend to keep to themselves. They don't want to add stress.
Well, that's why you need someone on the outside to confide in. I'll speak to Courtney as soon as I can.
Just let me know what you want to do.
Okay.
Hey, Dad, I've forgotten my...
Backpack? There you go, sport.
Thanks. See ya.
Have a good one.
Frank, wait.
Karen, not now.
I overheard you asking Kevin to help Neil.
So you came to rub my face in it.
No. I could see how difficult it was for you not to be able to tell Kevin you're Neil's father.
Whoa, is that sympathy I see?
Don't be a jerk, Frank. The secret is killing both of us, and I don't know about you, but I can't keep it up.
That mean you're going to tell Neil?
Not as long as he's this sick. But things might start turning around for Neil soon.
Why, do you know something?
There's this clinical trial for a new chemo drug. Joe got Neil accepted into the program.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it is. For Neil and for Joe, it's put him in a whole new frame of mind.
What are you getting at?
It's time you and Courtney told Joe the truth.
Karen,
I mean it, Frank. I won't keep up this lie. Joe has every right to know he's not Neil's father.
Well, that was fun.
Can't imagine a better way to spend my afternoon than listening to the greatest hits of Julie's trial.
Yeah, I still don't understand why the jury asked to have Cooper and Garcia's testimony read back to them.
Well, they probably just needed to clarify some information.
You know, like, did Detective Garcia say certain things about you being brainwashed? Did he admit that you were under mind control?
Yeah, my guess is they just want to confirm how whacked Cooper is.
So you see, this could be a good thing. But why don't we ask the legal expert, Scott?
Well, let's stop kidding around here. When a jury wants testimony read back 9 times out of 10, they're looking for a conviction.
Well, that's terrific news. Thank you so much, Dr. Felker. Okay, bye-bye. It's all set up.
They're going to start Neil on the new chemo protocol?
He's officially a part of the clinical trial.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank Joe. He's the one that got him in the test group.
You really think that this could give Neil a fighting chance?
Well, it's his best shot yet to get well. And as soon as he improves...
Don't even say it. I meant it when I told you the minute Neil gets better, Courtney and I are going to tell Joe the truth. You can count on it.
Can I?
Absolutely. Joe will know that I am Neil's father, but only when the time is right.
Frank, there you are. I've been looking everywhere for you.
Hey.
Hey. What's going on?
Well, Frank and I were just...
Karen was telling me about Neil's new drug protocol.
Yeah, this approach could be exactly what we've been hoping for, Courtney.
Uh-huh. Where's Neil? You're supposed to meet me here.
I saw him a few minutes ago with Joe over by the blood drive area.
Well, why are we standing around here? Let's go get him. Come on.
Okay.
It's time you and Courtney told Joe the truth.
Karen.
I mean it, Frank. I won't keep up this lie. Joe has every right to know he's not Neil's father.
Dr. Alcacer, 3715. Dr. Ralph Alcacer, 3715.
Well, so much for Joe and Neil being in the blood drive area.
Maybe they went over to radiology.
After we arranged to hook up here, I don't think so. You know, I'm sure Frank will find them. I'm going to go wait in the lounge.
Courtney, wait a second. There's something you and I need to clear up.
Karen, the last thing I want to do before my son's chemotherapy treatment is have a heavy discussion with you.
It's about the car accident. According to the report, it was nobody's fault.
Yeah, I read it. So now you can go tell everybody in Port Charles how blameless you are.
Forget the report, okay? It doesn't matter what it says. What I wanted to say is that I'll always regret being on the road in that storm. And what happened because we were out there.
Neither one of us should have been driving that night. What?
I'm just surprised to hear you say that. And grateful.
Yeah, well, I hope you don't expect this to be the start of a beautiful friendship.
I'll settle for a truce.
You're Neil's doctor, Joe's girlfriend, and we have to see each other. For those reasons, we need to get past the accident. Let's just leave it there, okay?
If that's how you feel, it's fine with me.
I'll tell you what. I'll stay out of your way. I'd appreciate it if you stay out of mine.
Nurse Hartman, 4737. Nurse Donna Hartman, 4737.
Hey, come by to check out our progress?
I'm looking for Neil. Is he in there?
He went to meet his mom at the nurse's station. I would have brought him by myself, but we've been swamped. We had over 50 donors today.
Oh, that's great. Everyone's coming through.
Yeah. Oh, Kevin stopped by earlier to be typed and crossed. He mentioned counseling Neil.
And I bet he told you I brought it up.
Yeah, he did.
You're probably thinking I'm overstepping my boundary, but I ran into the guy, and Neil's name came up, so
Frank, it's okay. Don't worry about it. I'm glad you got the ball rolling. Of course, I'll have to sell it to Courtney now. Oh, which reminds me, she and I have to get Neil over to chemo. You coming?
Well, I got Neil's videos.
You did? What you got?
Young Frankenstein in blazing saddles.
Oh, you remember the look on his face when he saw the scene?
The scene around the campfire.
Yeah. Yeah. I was really ticked off when you spent a fortune on all those tapes. But now that I see that they're good for Neil, you did a good thing, Frank.
Everything I've done for him, Joe, has been out of love.
I know. You acted the same way when I was a kid. You only wanted what was best for me. And now you only want what's best for my son.
Julie, I'm not trying to scare you. It just looks like the jury is looking for a guilty verdict.
Come on, you don't have any idea whether the jury's going to acquit or convict any more than I do.
Maybe not. I'm just trying to prepare for the worst.
Is that what you're hoping for?
Okay, that's out of line. Well, I don't want to seem ungrateful for what you did for me in the courtroom, but Chris is right. It's starting to sound like you want me behind bars.
I don't know what I believe anymore.
Well, why can't you believe I'm innocent?
It's not what I believe, it's what the jury believes that matters here.
Hey, you know what? Maybe we can get a mistrial on the grounds that the defense attorney threw the case because he wasn't sure what to think.
Oh, come on, Scott doesn't want to lose. He's just being pragmatic.
Yeah, well, I don't buy it.
It's his job to tell us all the possible scenarios. I think the least we can do is give him the courtesy to hear him out.
Are you taking his side?
Julie, everybody here is on your side.
Well, is she right, Scott?
I'm your lawyer. I'm here to fight for you.
Well, come on, you don't mean that.
You know, Ramsey, I'm not your attorney, so I don't have to convince you of anything except for the fact that you're an idiot.
Okay, wait, please. Can we please just all get along?
No,
here, don't we all want the same thing?
You three get along, because I got work to do.
Good riddance. I mean, do you believe this guy?
He's not doing anything except waiting for the jury to convict me.
Look, I know Scott sounds pessimistic, but the real problem is the two of you haven't learned how to handle him yet.
Handle him? Rachel, I don't think we even want this guy on the case anymore.
Oh, yes, we do, Chris, and I'll tell you why. Because by the time I'm finished with Scott Baldwin, he's going to be the biggest supporter Julie has ever had in this town.
Dr. Moraga?
Oh, there you are, Courtney. I'm sorry I'm a little late.
Where have you been?
Oh, the chapel. I always like to say a prayer before Neil's treatments.
Well, if anyone can get her prayers answered, Mary, I'm sure it's you.
Hey, Neil isn't here?
No, I thought he was with you.
Well, no, he wasn't in the blood drive room. Joe said he came up here.
Oh, I'll bet he's down visiting with his buddies in pediatrics. I'll go get him, okay?
Okay.
It's not like Neil's spaced out. He knows it's almost time for his chemo.
Oh, he's probably just taking a break. He's got so much on his mind right now.
Listen, about that, actually. I've been thinking Neil might need someone to speak to besides us.
What do you mean?
You know, professionally.
A therapist.
Frank and I both discussed it with Kevin earlier, and he said he'd be willing to counsel.
We never discussed counseling for Neil. Did something happen?
Well, you know how he pretends he's okay when he's sick. Well, I caught him doing that again, and it's...
Okay, so he doesn't want to worry you. But that doesn't mean he needs a shrink.
Courtney, if Neil keeps holding things inside, his stress level is going to shoot way up, and who knows how it could affect his recovery.
Neil's had counseling before. The first time he was sick, and he really didn't like it.
Courtney, that was when he was younger. Don't you think he might feel differently now?
If Neil needs to get something off his chest, he can come to me. I don't need a doctor to do my job.
Courtney, sometimes it's helpful to speak to somebody outside your own family. You should consider it.
What were we just saying about you minding your own business?
I was speaking as Neil's doctor.
And I'm speaking as his mother. Neil doesn't need to see a psychiatrist.
Okay, I have a say in this too, remember? And as his father, I think we should consider it.
What's the matter, Pookie? A mean old lawyer get you down?
Actually, I was wondering how much it would hurt my case if Scott had, say, an unfortunate accident.
Well, I think it's best that you keep your homicidal tendencies to yourself, okay? I mean, as much as I'd like to see Baldwin run over by a truck, I think it's in our best interest that he stay alive for now.
Well, we have to do something, Chris. Or else I'm gonna end up sharing a cell with some 6'3", 200-pound bodybuilder named Jolene. And Christina is gonna grow up thinking Lucy is her mother. I have come so far. I've got more to live for now than I ever thought possible, and I am not gonna lose it.
Hey, listen to me. You haven't lost anything, okay? Not by a long shot. And not as long as I'm around to fight for you, understand?
But see, my future is in the hands of 12 total strangers. How can you possibly help me with that?
Well, so far we've played everything nice and legal, right?
Yeah, and it's all been a big bust. I should have never gone through with this trial. I should have escaped when I had the chance.
You know, sometimes when playing by the rules doesn't work, you just need to make up a new set of rules.
You know something, you're right. I don't care who gets in the way or how we do it, but I am not going to spend the rest of my life behind bars.
So, Lucy, how long until Aunt Charlene gets her new barn up? The what? The townsfolk are helping out? You're in the middle of nowhere, aren't you? Yeah. Yeah, I miss you. I miss you a lot. Let me call you back, okay? Yeah, bye. I had a feeling I'd be seeing you again today.
I'm worried about Chris and Julie.
What about?
Well, you got them pretty worried when you said the jury might convict.
Come in. So what do you want me to do? You want me to go back and tell them there's nothing to worry about, everything's gonna be fine?
No, of course not.
Well, the trial is practically over. What can they do?
I don't know, but it's obvious to me that they're both very desperate.
How do I fit in?
You know what? Why don't we talk about that over dinner? Why don't we order in?
What do you want?
I don't know what you mean.
Well, you know, first you defend me at Ferncliff today.
All right.
Now
No. Relax, okay? This isn't a trick. I simply, you know, thought that assistance would give us some time to discuss Chris and Julie.
Yeah, well, you don't do anything without a reason. So what is it? What do you want from me?
What do you think I want from you?
I'm beginning to get the idea.
Okay, can I help it if I find you to be an impressive, capable man with an intelligent head on his shoulders?
That's why you told Julie and Chris to listen to me at Ferncliff?
No, it's because you have some good ideas.
You're crowding me here a little bit, all right? What is this all of a sudden buddy-buddy business you think you're passing off here?
Okay, no, we're not bosom buddies. It's just that I really feel like we're in sync, especially the last 2 weeks.
Well, you've been all over me to handle Julie's case.
You're right. I needed you.
Well, so I'm there. I'm representing Julie. But I have a little news flash for you here. It wasn't because of anything you did. It's just I took the case because.
You know what? You really should give yourself a little more credit. What you did was very noble, standing up for Julie in court.
Whatever. Why are you still trying to butter me up?
Okay, you're right. This has nothing to do with Julie's case.
Yeah, so go on.
I lied to you. I lied when I said I was sorry for kissing you when I thought you and Lucy were separated. Because I'm not sorry. I wasn't then, and I'm not now.
I'm very happy with Lucy.
No, of course you are. So you have nothing to worry about, do you?
Well, maybe I should just break out of here for good. The jury's gonna convict me anyway. We'll find where Lucy has Christina and take her. You clean out my bank account, no looking back. What do you say?
Well, I like the sentiment, but I have a feeling Scott and Lucy would go to the ends of the earth to find their little girl, and they have the bazillions to do it.
Yeah, but Christina is not their baby.
Which is precisely why breaking out of here isn't the answer. We need to get you cleared so you can live a normal life with your daughter.
And how are we gonna do it, Chris? Should we frame Kevin for the murder? After all, psychotics run in his family, and if it wasn't for him, my case wouldn't have taken a nosedive in the first place.
Well, unfortunately, I don't think there's enough time to do that before the jury comes back.
All right. Your turn. I'm out of ideas. Can't you think of something? Aren't you as bad as I'm supposed to be? Isn't that why I married you in the first place?
Of course. Hey, yeah, we're two of a kind, birds of a feather. And not only are you beautiful, but you're also very wealthy. Which brings me to my point. Maybe we should use some of that fortune to buy a future together.
I'm listening.
You know, money changes everything, even verdicts. Maybe it's time we did a little jury tampering.
You really think we could buy the whole jury?
We wouldn't have to. All we need is for one juror to vote your way.
Dr. Curtis,
I'm not a bad mother.
Dr. Fritz Curtis.
Neil doesn't need to see a counselor.
Courtney, this isn't about the kind of mother you are.
Listen, Courtney. I know it isn't easy to admit that Neil might need someone besides us, okay? I felt the same way. But he could use someone objective to discuss things with right now. I mean, he's had a really rough time.
Wait, you think you're telling me something new? I know very well the kind of time he's been having, and Kevin Collins doesn't.
I can't find Neil. I've looked everywhere.
You checked pediatrics?
Yeah, he wasn't there.
Well, he must be in the hospital somewhere.
Okay, don't worry. I'll have him paged.
Okay, good.
Yeah, maybe he got thirsty. Anybody try the cafeteria?
No. There's something wrong. I can feel it. But what if he went outside? It is so cold out today, and he's already sniffling, and his immune system... He can't get sick, you know that. Come on, you have to do something.
Okay, we'll track him down, okay? In the meantime, he knows all about the do's and don'ts, so take it easy.
Take it easy. Take it easy. Neil could be hurt, or...
Courtney, you're getting way ahead of yourself. Calm down.
Calm down. I will calm down when we find Neil.